Hey guys, I want to come on here and explain something that may be beneficial to you when we start entering the second semester or the third quarter. So if it's correct, I think the second quarter ends December 18th. The kids will then kind of go on break, and then they'll come back, and basically the third quarter has begun. So what do you do with your Google Classroom? What some teachers are doing, I'm going to show you this, and we can decide if this is a good tactic if you want to use this. All right, what some teachers do is they take their current Google Classroom and they will make a copy of it, and I'll show you what that does. And then they archive the old one and then invite the students to the new one. So what it essentially does is it kind of washes the assignments away from the first semester and kind of starts over from a student perspective. And it might be beneficial to you if there's a ton of things in there that may no longer be valid for the student. It doesn't mean that they get rid of all their work or anything like that. It just means that those assignments are kind of gone and there's a new classroom. So let me show you kind of what this looks like. All right, so I'm in Google Classroom here. And I will take, let me go to my test class here. I have a test class here. And I have some classwork in here, okay? So what I would do, so this is my Google Classroom, and let's say all my students are in here. I just have John Test. Now what I want to do next is I'm going to actually make a copy of this class. So I'm going to go back to my main view, and I'm going to click this. Okay, these three little dots that you can see here. I have move, copy, invite link, edit, copy, and archive. So I want to copy this class. So I'm going to hit copy. So before you do anything, you would do this. It's going to ask you to rename your class, create a new copy with copied topics and classwork items, rosters, and announcements won't be copied. So the students will not be in this. So this is something you can kind of go ahead and start doing, and then you can decide what you want to do. All right, so I'm going to call this Mr. Thomason's fake class quarter 3. And depending on how this goes, I might have this be quarter 3 and 4, or I might just have it be quarter 3 and do this again on quarter 4. So let's just start with quarter 3. I'm going to say copy. Now it takes a second because it's copying all the stuff. Now let's see what that looks like. So when this is done. All right, so I have Mr. Thomason's fake class. Where did it do it at the top? No, where did it go? Let's see if I can find fake. Oh, let's see if we can find it. Is this it? No. Let me see if I can find it. Fake class 2? Is that the same one? No. Let me see if we can find it. Okay, so it did it. It just took a second, and then it shows up at the top of your list, so it'll be here. It actually also made a new theme for me, so you can go ahead and change that to whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and just select that. All right, so this is my quarter 3 fake class. So what's different here? Well, your topics are still all available to you. So if you named your topics different things like reading or quizzes or something like that, you can still have access to those. Under classwork, if you notice too, all of my assignments that I had in my other class are there. They're just saved as drafts. So I could keep them there. It doesn't matter. But what I could also do is just get rid of these if I wanted to. But they're all just as drafts. So I don't have to even have them in there. I could delete the whole thing if I wanted to. But this adds it in here in case you did have some things that you wanted to carry over and they're there. So as a student, there's nothing in here. So I'm going to show you what this looks like as a student. So I'm going to sign in. Obviously, I don't have any students here because this is a brand new class. So I'm going to invite John Test. Now, what I would recommend is before you archive your old class, if this is what you choose to do, make sure all the students can get to the new one and you've got them listed and they've accepted your invite. So I'm going to sign in as John Test. J Test. Okay, so if you notice, I'm in as John Test, and look, I have a join button. Okay, and then here's my other class right here that I still have active, but I'm going to go ahead and say join. And look, I don't have any classwork because those were all drafts. Only the teacher sees that stuff. So those are not active. So it's just like a blank slate for the student. There's no topics or classes or anything like that. And so that is how that looks. From the teacher's perspective, you have all your assignments as, but you can just delete them all if you want, or you can delete the entire thing. So if I decided to delete reading, say delete, and now all those things are done. Okay, so if I wanted to delete, it's kind of nice with topics because you can just delete the whole thing. So you delete, so it's all getting deleted. Now, as a teacher, I can create an assignment and I can see my topic here you could do. So you could choose to delete those assignments, keep those topics, or just delete the topics if you're not going to use them again. Because most of the topics I've seen teachers use are like week 15, week 12, and you may not want to use those again. Grading category. If you have your gradebook set up from the previous class in here, it'll carry over too. So if you go down to grade, you can have it be whatever. I have it as 100% participation, but you can change it to be weighted by category if you wanted. So you could do it kind of like gradebook and say this percentage is participation, this is percentage test, whatever, however you have your gradebook set up. So you can do the same in here. But what this essentially does is it makes your classroom fresh for the new semester, so after the holidays. That might be a weight lifted off some kids' shoulders. It doesn't mean they don't have access to their stuff. Make sure to return all work to the student before you archive a class, because if not, you end up being the owner of that document, so make sure that you do that. And let me show you one other thing. So let's say I have my class set up, I'm ready to invite my kids have accepted it. Now if I go to the old classroom that I had, where is it, my fake class, here it is. Okay, so if I'm ready to get rid of that, I can go to that same 3 dots and choose archive. Okay, so this is a little pop-up here. Archiving a class causes it to be archived for all participants. Archived classes cannot be modified by teachers or students unless they are restored. This class will move to your archive classes. Class files will remain in Google Drive. Okay. You can still reuse old posts. So if you do something like check in every day, you can still reuse an old post from an archived class. That's important to know. All right, so archive. I'm going to archive it now as John Test. You'll notice I do not have Let me hit refresh. I do not have that original fake class. It's gone. Where is it? Where is it? Well, a student can go to archive classes. And there it is, Mr. Thomason's fake class. I click it, and look, I can see all my old classwork and stuff that I had. See? I can still access it. So that's important to know. It's just not front and prevalent for the kid to be like, oh, this is that. All right. I hope this concept, hope you understand it. And if you have any questions, let me know. But this might be a way to clean the slate for the kids for the new semester. All right. Let me know if you guys need any help.